Every time we prioritize short-term pleasures over long-term gain and achievements in the long run, we set ourselves back from reaching our bigger goals, our visions, our dreams. And whether it's skipping a workout or procrastinating on a project or, for example, spending money we meant to save, these decisions accumulate over time. And the more we give in, the harder it becomes to stay on track, whether it's with our health, with our relationships, our careers, our bigger visions. And these small choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but they add up, often at the expense of our long-term happiness and our long-term success. Welcome to Soul Time, a show that explores the world of unlocking your unique potential. My name is Dr. Katja Makowka, and I'm a teacher at school, a former teacher at universities, and a stress and mental coach. And I'm your host. Let's start by breaking down what we mean by instant gratification. At its core, it's the desire to experience pleasure or fulfillment without having to wait for it. It's that quick hit of satisfaction you get from doing something immediately, whether it's eating a cookie or instead of cooking a healthy meal or hitting next episode of your favorite show when you know you have got other things to do. But why is this so appealing? It all comes down to our brain's reward system. When we do something that gives us pleasure, like eating sweets or checking social media, for our brain, it's a beautiful situation because our brain releases dopamine, a chemical that makes us feel good. The catch is this reward is immediate, and our brains are wired to seek out that quick, easy dopamine hit whenever possible. And this can lead to habits where we choose short-term pleasure, even when it's at the cost of long-term goals. Common examples of instant gratification are everywhere. For example, scrolling endlessly on social media, like I said before, watching a whole season of a show, or buying something online just for that temporary rush of excitement. And in small doses, these things might not seem like a big deal. But over time, constantly seeking instant gratification can keep us from making progress on things that really matter, like building a career, achieving personal goals, or even cultivating meaningful relationships. Now that we have covered what instant gratification is and how it works, let's take a look at why it's so tempting and how it affects our long-term success. So, what does long-term success really look like? It's not just about financial wealth or career achievements. True long-term success is more holistic. It includes personal fulfillment and emotional well-being, meaningful relationships, and for sure, even financial security. It's about reaching a place where your goals align with your core values and you feel a deeper sense of satisfaction with the life you have built. And the rewards of patience and persistence are powerful. While instant gratification gives us a quick rush of pleasure, it's fleeting. And on the other hand, when we delay those short-term temptations and stay focused on our bigger goals, our bigger visions, our dreams, the sense of fulfillment we gain is lasting. Whether it's sticking to a fitness routine, building a business, or investing in long-term relationships, the process might be slower, but the results are far more sustainable and rewarding. Patience teaches us to value the journey, not just the destination. And that's where real happiness comes from. It's falling in love with the process of becoming. And there's even science to back up this. You might have heard of the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment. In this study, children were given a choice: eat one marshmallow now or wait a little and get 2 marshmallows later. Those who were able to delay gratification, choosing to wait for the bigger reward, 2 marshmallows, were found to be more successful in many areas of their lives, including academics and careers. And this study is just one example of how the ability to wait, to focus on long-term goals, can correlate with greater success and happiness in life. And with that foundation, let's now explore why so many of us still struggle with patience, even knowing that these benefits are amazing. Why do we struggle so much to resist short-term rewards, even when we know the long-term benefits? A big part of it comes down to how our brains are wired. Our brains have evolved to seek out immediate rewards as a survival mechanism. And the release of dopamine, the feel-good chemical, kicks in when we indulge in instant gratification, whether it's checking our phones, eating comfort food, or making impulsive purchases. That dopamine rush makes us feel good in the moment, and it's hard to say no to that because it's a beautiful feeling. Society doesn't make it easier. We live in a world of now. Everything is designed for convenience and immediate access. From the next day delivery to streaming services that let us binge entire seasons of shows without a break. And social media too constantly feeds us instant validation and conditioning us to expect fast rewards and feedback. And emotions also play a huge role. When we are stressed, tired, or emotionally drained, our self-control takes a hit. In these moments, it's much easier to reach for quick comforts rather than thinking about what's better for us in the long run. Whether it's a stressful day that leads to emotional eating or scrolling through social media to escape our feelings, or even some other emotional triggers can weaken our resolve and make it instant gratification far more tempting. But giving in constantly comes at a cost. Every time we prioritize short-term pleasures over long-term gain and achievements in the long run, we set ourselves back from reaching our bigger goals, our visions, our dreams. And whether it's skipping a workout or procrastinating on a project, or, for example, spending money we meant to save, these decisions accumulate over time. And the more we give in, the harder it becomes to stay on track, whether it's with our health, with our relationships, our careers, our bigger visions. And these small choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but they add up, often at the expense of our long-term happiness and our long-term success. And resilience and willpower are like muscles. The more we practice patience and self-control, the stronger they get. And every time we resist the urge to give in to short-term temptations, we are training our minds to withstand challenges and obstacles and build discipline over time. And practicing patience, whether it's in our personal or in our professional lives, teaches us how to navigate setbacks and keep moving forward despite difficulties. And this mental toughness helps us stay committed to our long-term goals and making us more resilient in the face of obstacles, failures, challenges, whatever we have to face. And when we focus on the long game, we also experience a deeper level of satisfaction. The sense of fulfillment we get from achieving something that took time and effort and discipline and perseverance far outweighs the fleeting pleasure of instant gratification. And whether it's mastering a skill or saving for a significant goal or cultivating meaningful relationships, the rewards of patience bring more lasting happiness. And long-term achievements allow us to reflect on the journey we have taken and the growth we have experienced along the way, which leads to a richer sense of purpose. And there are countless examples of people and industries that have thrived by focusing on long-term growth. Think about one example like Michael Jordan, who trained over the years and to achieve greatness. Even entire industries like technology and medicine rely on long-term research. That's another awesome example, and development and innovation to make breakthroughs. And these success stories of, for example, industries or sports stars remind us that the most enduring accomplishments often come from staying committed to a long-term vision rather than chasing short-term wins. And it's incredibly important to instill the value of patience and long-term thinking in children from a young age. In a world that offers instant gratification at every turn, whether through technology, fast food, or quick entertainment, teaching young minds the power of waiting and working hard and seeing the bigger picture is crucial for their future success and for their future happiness. Kids who learn to resist immediate temptations and focus on a long-term reward build the foundation for stronger emotional resilience, self-discipline, and better decision-making. And parents and educators play a vital role in nurturing this specific mindset. One simple strategy is to reward children for consistent effort rather than immediate results. For example, praising them for studying every day rather than just celebrating when they get an A on a test. That encourages them to see value in the process and not just the outcome. And this teaches them that growth and success are a journey and not something that happens overnight. And fostering a growth mindset is another powerful way to reinforce long-term thinking. And by encouraging children to view challenges as opportunities and stepping stones for growth rather than as setbacks, we help them understand that patience and persistence and discipline are key to improving over time. And they start to realize that while instant success might be rare, steady effort and learning from mistakes will eventually lead to real and lasting success. And this mindset shift, this shift in perspective, not only helps them delay gratification, but also strengthens their confidence and ability to tackle future challenges. To shift the focus from instant gratification to long-term success, it's essential to have clear and actionable strategies. And here are some powerful approaches for you. First of all, set clear long-term goals. The first step is to have a strong vision of what you are working toward. Take time to clearly define your long-term goals, whether they are related to your career, to your health, or personal development, and write them down and keep them somewhere visible as a constant reminder. And when you know what you are aiming for, your bigger why, it becomes easier to resist short-term temptations that could throw you off track. The next hack is use temptation bundling. One way to make the process of working towards your goals more enjoyable is by combining a short-term pleasure with a productive task. For example, you could pair listening to your favorite podcast or audiobook with working out, or treat yourself to a special snack only while organizing your workspace. This method helps you associate the harder task with something enjoyable, and that is making it easier to stick to your long-term plan. The next hack is mindful decision making, and practicing mindfulness can be a game changer when it comes to managing impulses. And by becoming more aware of your thoughts and emotions, you can catch yourself before making impulsive decisions based on immediate desires. Take a moment to pause, then reflect and ask yourself whether a particular choice aligns with your long-term goals or not. This helps you make more intentional decisions and avoid instant gratification. The next hack is break down big goals. Big goals can sometimes feel overwhelming and leading to procrastination or feeling stuck, or the temptation to choose easier and more immediate rewards. To stay motivated, break your larger goals into smaller, achievable milestones. Each small victory gives you a sense of accomplishment and making it easier to stay on track and resist distractions. Plus, these small wins help build momentum, keeping you focused on the bigger picture. To help you internalize the concept we have discussed and make meaningful changes, here are some journaling prompts to guide your reflection. Grab your journal and let's dive in. First, journal prompt: reflect on a time you choose instant gratification. Think back to a moment when you opted for immediate pleasure over long-term success. What was the situation and what was the outcome? How did that choice impact your goals or your personal well-being? And writing down can help you recognize patterns and learn from your experiences. Next prompt, consider a long-term goal you have achieved. Recall a significant goal. And ask yourself, how did delaying gratification play a role in your journey? Reflect on the steps you took, the challenges you faced, and how staying focused on track leads to the results. And the next prompt is identify areas where instant gratification holds you back. Take a moment to think about specific areas in your life where you often give in to short-term rewards. What are these temptations? What steps can you take to shift your focus back to long-term success? And identifying these patterns is the first step toward making lasting changes. Next prompt, it's a huge one. It's examine social pressures. How does society encourage you to pursue short-term rewards? Consider advertisement, social media, or peer influences. What strategies can you implement to resist these pressures and stay committed to your long-term goals? And the next prompt is list your long-term goals. Write down 3 long-term goals you are currently working toward. For each goal, identify what short-term sacrifices you are willing to make to help you achieve them. And understanding the trade-offs will empower you to make more conscious decisions that are aligned with your aspirations. And use these prompts to dive deep into your thoughts and feelings about instant gratification and long-term success. Journaling can be a really powerful tool for reflection and growth and helping you stay focused on the path you want to take. And as we wrap up this episode, let's take a moment to reflect on the key points we have covered today. Balancing short-term desires with long-term success is essential for leading a fulfilling life. Instant gratification may feel rewarding in the moment, but it's often the long-term efforts that have the most meaningful and lasting results. And I want to encourage you all to remember that while resisting instant gratification can be a challenge, the rewards of patience and persistence and discipline far outweigh the temporary pleasures. And the journey towards your long-term goals may require effort and sacrifice, but each step you take brings you closer to a life filled with true happiness and true fulfillment. And now, I invite you to take action. Choose one practical strategy we discussed in today's episode and implement it in your daily life. Whether it's setting clear long-term goals or practicing mindfulness decision-making, or any other tip that resonated with you, commit to it this week and check it out. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to our next conversation. Bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Soul Time. I'm very grateful because you have given me the greatest treasure of your life, your time. If you enjoyed this episode, click the subscribe button so that you get a notification every time a new episode is out.